Hello. It's me, George. Except my name's not George. It's Tin, but not in real life. So yeah, today we're playing TrackMania Lagoon, I think. See, the TrackMania universe is a very complicated one, and the new release today has made it even more complicated. So, You might notice I'm currently playing TrackMania 2 Stadium. However, if we go into my Steam thing here, I'm actually playing TrackMania 2 Canyon, because that is the game I clicked on when I loaded this up. But you can actually play any of the TrackMania games in any TrackMania game you play. You can load up Canyon and play Stadium. You can load up Stadium and play Canyon. You used to actually not be able to do that, but with the new Mania Planet update that they did just a week or so ago, you can now flip-flop between the two, which is good because it means you can finally play the custom channels that they're called. So this is Mania Planet. This is where all the TrackMania 2 stuff happens. There's also TrackMania Turbo, which is the same environments and the same cars, the same physics, but it's all one standalone game designed for consoles. This is the version that's designed for the PC, and good God, is it complicated. So we have the regular games here. There's Canyon, there's Stadium, there's Valley, there's Lagoon. Lagoon just came out today. The others have been out for years at this point. And then you have these other things, like you have this, which combines the environments, except for Lagoon. You have other modes, like this is a stunt mode in Canyon, I think. And here's a stunt mode in Stadium. This just happened randomly. There's a compilation failure. That's great. Thank you for that. Here's the stunt for Valley. Here's someone made the Nürburgring in TrackMania Stadium. So let's drive the Nürburgring. I posted a picture of this on Twitter the other day, just because the concept seemed so ridiculous. Apparently, Captain Harlock, who is on Discord, has played this. He's in Virginia. He is also #1 in the United States and #3 in North America, not top 10 in the world. So, yes, some guy just modded the Nürburgring into TrackMania Stadium, and now you can play it in this separate channel. And you can only have a finite number of channels. To get more channels, you have to use planets, which are a virtual currency in the game that have no reason to exist whatsoever, because I don't even think you can use real money to buy them, which is completely pointless. So yeah, it's a real-world track in a game where you're not supposed to do this. But if you casually want to go 600 kilometers an hour on the Nürburgring, you can do that. Because that's cool, maybe. In terms of TrackMania games I own, I have Sunrise, United Forever, and all the TrackMania 2 games, and Turbo on the PC. There's also a game called TrackMania Turbo on the DS, which is completely unrelated and came out years before the PC version. But I have that as well, and there was another TrackMania game on the DS which I have, and there was a TrackMania game on the Wii which I have. So I've got a lot of TrackMania games, you might say. Oh dear. No penalty for driving off course, except you do lose speed, I think. Also, in the new Mania Planet update, they completely redid the UI. So now it looks completely different. And I kind of like it, but also kind of don't like it at the same time. Because it kind of just reminds me of someone who would make an Android app and would just make some generic looking UI and slap that on there. I kind of intentionally made a bad screenshot just because I thought it would be funny. Also, it's not saving my car that I'm using, which is a shame. I'll have to force it. But yeah, at this point. It reminds me of a long time ago I streamed some TrackMania ripoff games on an Android games stream. And it kind of reminded me of that, and just how it looks like a complete knockoff. Like TrackMania is a knockoff of itself now. Just casually going 500 kilometers an hour. That's 300 miles an hour. You can also fly off the track and go over the guardrails. I might have accidentally done that before. There's a random Opal ad. Probably actually on the Nürburgring at some point in time. But yeah, this is no Gran Turismo. I mean, it's not designed to be, but graphically this map, not the most high poly. But it's also a mod, so you can't complain. It's also something that this game is completely not at all designed to do. It's supposed to just use blocks to build your tracks. And so the fact that this exists is kind of amazing. Apparently there's also a channel that will add the entire Formula 1 season, and you can race on those tracks. Have not downloaded that though. Might at some point. There's also a shooting game called TrackMania. That exists for some reason. I do not own that. Yeah, 700 kilometers an hour on the back straight of the Nürburgring. What could go wrong? Can we get sub 5? Yes, we can. How many SP do I get? 268. That was not as good as the other guy's time, I don't think. He did it in 4 minutes 40 seconds. I was 16 seconds slower. I was 4th in the United States, though, out of 14 people. 6 out of 21. 63rd out of 232, so that's something. You can also do it at night and in reverse if you want to. You can also play online, except no one is. Not on the Nürburgring server, at least. But we want to play Lagoon because that came out today. And it's official tracks and stuff. Hey, Cathador. How are you doing? I should point out one huge change that they added to this. Actually, I'll point it out once we do it. I beat the first 2 levels, but I'll beat them again on stream for completionist purposes. One huge improvement in the latest Mania Planet version is the official races. It used to be that you could only do an official race once every 5 minutes, and if you messed up on your one attempt, you had to wait another 5 minutes to do another one. But now they changed it so all attempts are official attempts, and you'll get SP for all of them, which I think is pretty great. Whether you don't think it's pretty great is the car design. I think it's kind of ugly. It reminds me of what a really bad 3D artist would think a futuristic car would look like. I think the front looks a bit better, but that's the part you don't actually see. And also, it did not save the livery I wanted. Car painter. The bike is still by the park. Maybe someone uses it or goes there all the time and leaves the bike there all the time. I want this. I want the orchid. So here's another weird thing about Lagoon. I don't actually have it on Steam, even though I'm playing this in Steam. So let me explain how that works. So I have Stadium, Canyon, and Valley on Steam. They each have their little icons in the Steam thing. They're listed as separate games and whatnot. Lagoon I got because I have TrackMania Turbo. And so what you can do, if you have Turbo, is you can get this for free instead of paying the $20 by going to the Mania Planet website and signing up for the beta for Lagoon. Even though it's not in beta anymore, you can still sign up as a beta. And once you do that, you'll be able to play it inside Mania Planet. But you'll have to load a different TrackMania game first before you can play this one. Which is why I'm in Canyon right now. I have to load TrackMania Canyon, which will then go to the main menu of Canyon. I then have to exit out of that to go to the main menu of Mania Planet, and then I can load Lagoon and play Lagoon. So I think it's safe to say that Mania Planet is a bit of a mess. Also, that's a really nice track. So that's the reason I'm not 100% sure I own this, because it's not actually in Steam. But I have access to all the single-player tracks. And I haven't tried multiplayer yet, but I assume that works. Because I tried it once before and it said, you don't own this. Please enter a key. And then I tried again a few minutes later. Once I restarted, and it was like, hey, you can play. So now I'm playing. So these are all just the A-class tracks. These are all easy peasy. I don't know if you remember the last time I streamed TrackMania, which I think was probably December. It was taking me like half an hour to beat a track. It's not going to be that long for these because these are easy. The other ones were hard. They were not easy. Oh dear. That happened. Why did it not give me the car I wanted? Oh, I know why. I'm stupid. You have to do it in Profile, not in Car Painter. Like, the menus are the same, but one of them will save your car, and one of them will not save your car. You have to pick the one that saves your car if you want your car to be saved. Thanks, Nadeo. Oh, is this a race? I thought this was track 4. Is this track 5? Because I think every 5th track is a circuit. Multi-lap. And this indeed has multiple laps. And I've hit the wall multiple times. That's not a very good time. Oh cool, my Uniqlo order has shipped. Yeah, see, my map ranking is very bad. I bought a shirt from Uniqlo. It's a Splatoon shirt that looks really cool. That was 5. I'm just bad at counting. So you have to go... can I even get to there with the D-pad on the controller? No, I think I have to use the mouse to go to the profile on the top right. Then we go to models. And then We select Orchid, and now it's saved. Isn't this game great? So well made, so easy to use. Don't even get me started on all the editors that are in this game, and I think they've added more in the new Radiant Planet update. There is now an editor. I'm not even joking. There is literally an editor to edit editors. At least that's what I think it is. It's called Creator Editor, and when I clicked on it, it was just a blank blue screen, and I had no idea what I was doing. There's no car in that clip art. Gonna be honest with you. By the way, how's this stream quality? I lowered the settings on the game to try to make sure the frame rate was as good as possible. I remember the wood thing. You have no traction on wood. Like, absolutely none. Which is why that happened. Did I even win? I did. I got 3 SP. I want to try that again. I can do better than that. Sub 20 should be easy. It's good quality. That's good. I'm so far behind. I think that's my ghost. Don't turn like that. Okay, that works. That was much better. Now I've got 16 SP. That's still not a lot. I can do even better. Gotta get used to the Lagoon controls, because they're quite different. That's good. Boop. There we go. That's some SP. So SP is just like an online ranking system. The better your time, the more SP you'll get, and you get exponentially more SP. So it greatly rewards people who are the best in the world at a particular track. They can get like hundreds of thousands of SP per track. If not millions. There we go, that's how you do it. Bumpy, bumpy. Uh-oh. Save it. I might not have won the gold, actually. No, I did. I did it. That's a weird level. Hey, Rafa. How are you doing? I would have my game set to Lagoon, but that does not exist on the Twitch database, so I set it to Stadium because that's the only one people care about. It's the least wrong option I could have chosen. Also, I think I finally fixed my bits indicator. Apparently the changes I had made didn't actually save, so I made them again, and I think they saved this time. Oh no, I hit a wall. Not like it really matters for gold, because gold isn't even that good on the A level courses. But if I want the author medal, which is the medal above gold, probably can't be hitting walls like that. That's right. Oh, I said improve. I didn't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. I guess quit and then A11. There we go. Yes, I do have a purple car, indeed. Somehow I scraped my arm. I don't know how I did that. I bet you were glad to know that. Are we going to hit the Ferris wheel? No, that's good. Kind of reminds me of the Bay map from TrackMania United. Has a similar feel to it. Pointless trivia, the Bay environment was the only one not in TrackMania Wii of all the environments that existed at the time that game came out. I bet you're glad you learned that information. Oh. That worked out. Apparently they also changed the physics in some of the environments in the new Mania Planet update, and people aren't happy about that because it ruined the leaderboard times. Now you got to do all the records again because the cards start slightly quicker or something. I don't know the specifics. Man, work tomorrow is going to be fun. I get to update 150 student laptops to OS Sierra, except more than half of them have it, so it's more like 60. And considering some of them probably aren't going to bring them in, it's probably going to be more like 40 or 50. And then you have to inspect the rest for damages and stuff. Because it's the end of the school year and we have to make sure they haven't broken their laptops. Because some of them have. Then we have to take them to the Apple store. But apparently we can only take 2 at a time to the Apple store because we're not important enough to Apple. Which means we don't get any sort of special support, which means we can't have them fix more than 2 devices at a time. So that's going to be fun. Also the game froze. What's going on here? I don't know. Did I beat the track? Did it count? I had that happen once before earlier today when I was playing Stadium. Hold on, I want to find out. Okay, I did get the medal, but I didn't get the SP. That's a shame. I got 3 SP for that one. Not getting a whole lot of SP. Probably because not a whole lot of people have played yet. Would be my guess. I don't know if SP actually changes. If I'll get more SP in the future because more people have played these tracks. Never really liked the circuits in this game. TrackMania's never really been particularly about endurance, for me at least. I like the part of TrackMania where it's all about being really good for a really short period of time. And these kind of make you have to be really good for a long period of time, which is hard. But the A-class tracks are easy, and the B-class tracks will probably be about as easy. I don't expect to have too much difficulty until D-class, really. I don't know if I ever answered how I've been. I've been pretty good. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, but I also don't feel tired. I don't know how that has happened. But it makes me feel more confident about not needing sleep, which is probably not something that's good to be confident about. But my confidence level in such matters has increased. I think I'm gonna speedrun Puyo Tetris sometime soon. Oh dude, this is terrible. Also, the damage model on my car is interesting, to say the least. Oh wow. What happened there? It looked like my car exploded. Twitch lists the game as TrackMania Squared because that is how it is officially written. It's officially TrackMania Squared, not TrackMania 2. I don't know if that's faster. It might be. Uh-oh. All these minuscule amounts of SP. Also, the music in this game, very generic. I mean, it's always kind of been, but more generic than usual in this one. Valley and Stadium had a couple of decent tracks, I would say. But yeah, I think sometime in the next few streams I'm going to do a Puyo Tetris speedrun. Not that I expect to do well at it, except there actually is a decent chance I might get world record if no one else has done a run, or does a run before I do. Because the one run that currently exists seems pretty weak. But I'm sure if other people started doing it, I would have no shot at getting anywhere close, but it would be fun to do for a time or two. And also it's like 2.5 hours long. So it's like a whole stream is just one speedrun. Am I going to make that jump? Apparently yes. But did I get gold? I did. However, I was the worst person in Virginia. So I'm going to try to be not the worst person in Virginia. I'm just like the worst person in general. I'm worse than that homeless lady who wasn't actually homeless and got arrested yesterday. I mentioned that in yesterday's stream. Also, the times in the top right don't work. They just do not work. They're all zeros all the time. That's pretty tricky. Let me do first person view. I think that might be better. We shall see. Don't fall off. Good job. You didn't completely fall off. And now we can make the high landing and just crash into the wall for good measure. No longer the worst in Virginia. I am now the second best person in Virginia. There are also only 4 people in Virginia. Me, my mom, my dad, and someone else. I seem to have messed up this game. I think the game is just messed up in general. It seems to have some bugs. I want to try online at some point because there's a giant bomb server running. And I like giant bombs, so I want to play on the giant bomb server. Can't go straight to BO6 from BO5. You have to go to the menu. I don't know why. Just because. Oh, more wood driving, great. That worked. Except it didn't. Nice finish. I got 5 SP, which is more SP than I got that one time I got the gold medal. Now I'm going to try to get the gold medal and I'll get more than 5 SP. Can you imagine that? $36 SP. That's more than 35 SP. So this stream probably won't be that long because I should probably get some sleep tonight, considering I didn't get much sleep last night, which means this might only be a couple hours. Bonk. You think there are people who like actively listen to elevator music? Like that's the only thing they'll listen to. It's their favorite type of music. Like music like this. And just other elevator-y things. You think there's a group of people who are into that sort of stuff? It's not bad music, it's just not exciting, I guess. Like, this is not the type of music I would want to listen to at a party. I mean, I listen to a lot of video game music too because it has like good melodies and stuff, and it's exciting. This doesn't have much of anything. It's simple, I guess. Easy listening, you could say. There are people who like easy listening. I mean, I guess really that is what people who like elevator music call elevator music. So I guess I kind of just answered my own question there. Whoops, where? Oh, is that not the goal? I don't know what this is. Is it a swimming pool that I've now stuck my car into? I guess. I just now saw your message about why this looks like Goat Simulator. I have no idea why this would look like Goat Simulator. Okay, where do I go? You go straight there. I mean, I can kind of see how this feels a bit like Goat Simulator. I think it's the font that the numbers use that make it look like that. They didn't used to use this typeface. They changed that like last week in an update. And I don't know if I like it. The way the cars bounce around. That could be it too, yeah. Not all of the environments bounce around this crazily. I think this is the fastest turning car out of all the environments. Yeah, the pop-ups, that's what I was suggesting. Kind of with the typeface comment. Oh hey, the times at the top right are working. Are they just checkpoint times then? And I've never noticed that. That's probably the case, actually. I feel slightly dumb now. I thought that was like your record time. Because it used to show you your record time. And like the time of the gold medal up on the top left, I think. And now it doesn't show that information anymore. So it just shows different information from what I thought it did. That makes sense. It's showing the gold right now because it's the best time clients recorded this far. What if I do it again? I think it showed gold because I selected gold, and now it's going to compare to my personal record because it beat gold. You can see I'm doing slightly worse right now. Oh dear. Whacked the wall. Actually, I don't know why I talked bad about elevator music, because I just remembered I used to listen to the Weather Channel music. Like Weather Scan, which just shows you your local information all the time. For at least the past 10 years, they've just been playing the same 2-hour loop of music on loop forever. That was an interesting donut. And I used to leave that on and listen to that. I don't think it's quite as strange as watching the real estate channel every day. Talked about that yesterday. Used to do that as a kid. I don't do it anymore because that channel doesn't exist anymore. It got replaced with the internet. I remember, of all the different home companies, there's one called Ryan Homes, and they would play a jingle at the end of every house. I forget how it went, but I always liked that jingle. I thought they were the best company because they were the only one who got a jingle. You could be watching the Jewelry Channel. You know, sometimes it's kind of peaceful to watch one of those shopping channels. I think there's one called the Cutlery Network that's kind of a meme. That only sells knives. Cutlery Corner, I think. And like, it's just... all they do is sell knives. There's YouTube videos of Cutlery Corner. And it's pretty great. It's not crash, I say as I crash. At one point they were selling cheap Donald Trump knives. Actually, I was going through student laptops today for early inspection, and one of the students had a Donald Trump wallpaper. It was like him riding on top of a tank. It was a well-made wallpaper, I'll give it that. Whoops, next track. I like seeing the metals and gemstones. Yeah, they're alright. My parents like to go to the gem show whenever it comes in town, but I don't really. Although I remember I went one year with them, and it was the same day as the Kentucky Derby, and it started coming on TV as soon as we left. And it was also in the same building that a robotics competition was in a few years later. You live in Kentucky? That's cool. I do not live in Kentucky. But I live in a state that borders Kentucky. I did not watch the Kentucky Derby this year. I wish I did. I don't know why I didn't. The only thing I had to do was turn on the TV, but I was too lazy to do that. I mean, think of all the effort required to get out of my chair, walk 5 feet to the television, and press the power button. Or grab the remote, except the remote's usually right next to the television, which means it's kind of useless as a remote. But I also don't use the TV that often. Whenever I want to play an old console, I'll usually just plug it into my computer instead, because I can put filters on the picture and make it look better. Get that Landscoast filter or whatever it's called. I'm losing a lot of time. I think I hit a wall at some point. You know, I honestly don't know if I've ever been to Kentucky. I've been to Tennessee. I don't know if I've ever been to Kentucky. I have had Kentucky. Oh, yeah, that's gonna kill me, indeed. I have died. I'll just restart. KFC is alright. My favorite chicken is Ukrop's chicken, which you probably haven't heard of. It's a local thing. There used to be this restaurant chain where I live called Ukrop's, but I think in 2010 Martin's bought them out, and now they're all Martin's. And now Publix has bought out most of the Martins. So I don't know. My local Ukrop's / now Martin's is closing in July to become a Publix, and I don't know if they're going to keep the Ukrop's food, but I hope they do, because Martin's kept the Ukrop's food when they bought out Ukrop's. Ow. Yeah, that's the wall you're not supposed to hit. Well, you're not supposed to hit any wall, but specifically that one, that's really bad. There is the gold medal. Going bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good job. You did it. Hey, didn't wall that time. Restaurants are weird. What about them are weird? I actually don't eat at restaurants that often. I went to Golden Corral last week. They had one of those grabby machines. Can't think of the name, but you probably know what I'm talking about. Where you, it's the claw machines. Yes, they had a claw machine, but the only thing inside the machine were those Chinese takeout containers. That was the only thing. And it turned out that Emerald Rocks had actually posted a picture of another machine that only had Chinese takeout packages earlier that same day. I'm pretty sure it was not the exact same machine, considering she does not live anywhere close to where I do, but it also wasn't actually Chinese food. It was probably just cheap 50-cent toys inside a Chinese container for some reason. Maybe they had overstock. I don't know. Oh, that's a road. One time you had chicken with pineapple and broccoli. That sounds good. I like beef and broccoli. As far as vegetables go, broccoli's a pretty good one. There's a claw machine that had rubber ducks in the mall. I'd spend... really... It put me going the exact wrong way. I would put 50 cents in a claw machine with rubber ducks and probably lose 50 cents. Alternate path. Not as good as the real one. I won a couple of things from claw machines. I think I won a stuffed bear with a shirt for a college football team that I don't care about. I don't even know if I still have that. You mean you don't bounce off the water at high speeds in real life? I thought you did. Shows what I know. Ow. Thanks, camera. I'm gonna restart. That was bad. Actually really curious to see that happens in real life. Probably not to the extent it happens in this game. I think it's very much exaggerated. How does the gold medal do so well? Fun fact, this is the first game that actually says kilometers per hour next to your speed. Previously it was just some unknown unit of speed. But now the unit is known. Alright, now I'm doing well, so I can't mess up because I'll never be able to do well again until the next time I do well. Oh, that's off course. Nope, this is good. We're good. We can save this. Maybe. I don't know how much longer the course is. No, we can't save this. Well, I tried. I'm going for golds because you have to get all golds at some point to unlock the final levels. Might as well just get them now. Also, it doesn't tell you the name of the course you're on anymore. It used to do that. I liked it when it did that. Alright, I think it's official now. I do not like this UI as much as the old one. However, they did add a UI editor, so maybe there's a way to get the old one back. In fact, I think in some of the channels you can download, they actually still have the old UI. So I wonder if there's a setting you can do to change that back. I also wonder if I can actually do the start. Lining up is super tricky for it, but I got it that time. Rocks are not your friend in this game. Oh, that was beautiful. Shortcut. It's not a shortcut. You're curious as to the viability of a solar-powered bicycle, as opposed to a human-powered bicycle. I mean, we're continually improving our solar technology, so at some point it probably will be viable. I don't know if you just slapped a solar panel that you can buy from the solar panel store on a bicycle right now, if that would be viable. Yeah, this game is really unforgiving when it comes to running into obstacles. Basically, you touch one, you restart. I can also restart on the checkpoints, but there's no point in doing that if you want the gold. Yes, that is true, Cathador. Motorcycles are a thing. So would a solar-powered bicycle be a solar cycle? That actually sounds kind of cool, a solar cycle. Why don't we call a human-powered bicycle a human cycle then? I'm going to propose a name change when I become the president. I'm going to propose a name change to change the name of bicycle to human cycle. I'm the best player in Virginia on this map. You know, I caught the ice cream truck the other day, and they were out of orange creamsicles. I'm tempted to sue. Oh, what is that layout? I was tempted to sue, but I figured if I did, they might not let me buy any orange creamsicles in the future. So I didn't. That's very awkward. I think there might be strategy to slowing down there. Yeah, the trees in this game are not destructible. Slow down. Wait, no, I need to slow down before that jump. They trick you. You gotta slow down here. Maybe not that much. Then you get up here. And this is the faster path. Except... Yay, made it. But not gold. Now we'll go for gold. It's like the Olympics, except not. It's alright. We're still on the top path. We can do this. We can no longer do this. I don't know, maybe this is fast? No, it's... Oh, I got gold. Okay. If I got gold, sure. We'll move on. What is that layout? Just spiral up the skyscraper. Or maybe spiral down the skyscraper. No, it's spiral up. Oh, I like this level. This looks cool. A lot of left turns. Hope you like turning left. It's just like NASCAR. Imagine if NASCAR tracks were just one 500-mile loop. Just one lap of a 500-mile oval. That would be the most dumb use of taxpayer money in the world to build that track. And also it would probably have to go through a few houses. And I don't think people would be happy about that. It's like something on a stunt track driver. It really is. Reminds me of that Hot Wheels DLC in Forza 3. Forza Horizon 3, I should say. But yeah, these tracks can get really Hot Wheelsy. Tons of loops and stuff. Now we're kind of going around doing the world's largest slalom. Oops. Almost did the same thing again. Kinda did. No, we're good. More slalom. Actually, the slalom's kind of fun. It's loop-de-loop time. Oh, is it laps? I didn't realize that. I actually did it again. No! I'm gonna reset, or go to the checkpoint, not actually fully reset. I have enough of a buffer to gold, I think I can get away with it. Yeah, just barely. Only 18. So I did have to reset. I could do better if I cared, but I don't. Also, my car has a horn. I'm now pressing the horn. You can barely hear it. There, you can hear it a bit better. Uh-oh. Can I drive in the water? Maybe? No. Can I? Kind of. Sort of. I can get out of the water. Great. Keep getting twisted. That's not good. I don't know if I should do the Puyo Tetris speedrun next stream or Xbox Homebrew next stream. What do you guys think? What would you like to see? Either way, I think your sign's wrong. Don't worry, we can bounce to land. No, we can't. Can we drive to land? No. Well, maybe. Hold on. Flipped around the right way. We're kind of going. Zigzagging about. I don't know what the camera's doing. I think it's going to take way too long. Oh, that's cool. The camera actually adjusts dynamically between those two angles now. It didn't used to do that. It's a nice feature. This game has the best physics. To be fair, they are intentionally unrealistic. Alrighty. There. I did it. Nice. Good physics. Next track. CO7. So they're beginning to get a bit more difficult. Oh god, what's going on? Are we gonna make it? Okay, that was pretty awesome. I love the ridiculous physics like that. The ridiculous press forward starts. Those are always fantastic. Why are there so many TrackMania games? I have no idea. Go ask Nadeo why they added the fourth part to TrackMania 2. Okay. That was also really cool. And like this part of the game was already in TrackMania Turbo. So like the 4 environments in TrackMania 2 are the same 4 environments in TrackMania Turbo. It's just most of the tracks are different. And the graphics are different in Turbo. I don't really understand why there are effectively 2 different versions of the same game. That's pretty cool. These roller coaster sections are really neat. Getting all these incredible amounts of SP. I think I'm just not getting much because so few people have actually gotten this far yet, I think. I remember I was like one of the first 100 people to actually finish Turbo, I think. Or something. Like once I got to the final levels, there were very few people. Maybe not first 100, but like first 500 or something. I don't remember. But there were not very many people who had beaten it before I had. How am I 12 seconds behind? Did I miss something? You only played the free multiplayer one. That's still the best one, to be fair. Oh, do you not actually need to go that way? Is this some weird there are multiple paths level, but one path is way worse than the other paths? Yeah, you're supposed to just turn like that. Why do they do that? That's silly. You are being silly. I'm screwing up. Also, my license plate says Orchid for some reason, and my rear bumper says Caution. Just want to point that out. Hope I can catch up at some point. Otherwise, it's a fairly good gold medal ghost. I'm catching up. I've caught up. Please don't throw another curveball at me. That's a curveball. Was not expecting to transition to sand. Sudden sand transition caught me off guard. Oh, is this another one of the same things? Am I supposed to turn around? Yes. I don't think that one's quite as bad as the other one. So maybe you don't have to. And then you go here and you can pick the path to the finish. I will challenge silver because I didn't even get silver. Ow. My ghost is now a lot further, which means I'm still behind gold, I think. Whoa, I need to slow down there, I think. So actually, I think going to the right there is the faster path. Oops. I don't like levels with multiple paths where one's objectively better. Like, just make it one path. It's easier. Ow. See, I told you the levels would get more difficult. Also, the fact that I'm tired already is not helping. Whoa. Alright, we're doing good so far. Ooh, hello. Let's not screw up too badly here. That's not great. I don't know how badly that's going to slow me down. Oh, I went the wrong way! They tricked me. I've been bamboozled. Well, now I can go for gold, I guess. I beat silver, but I need gold. So I didn't actually do it. You haven't done it until you've gotten gold. That's the rule. That's an interesting looking trophy. At least I got a D in music. Never took a music class. Actually, that's a lie. I did it in middle school, but that's because we were forced to in middle school. You had no choice. You had to take choir. Except 1 year, you didn't, but you had to do a music history thing instead. And then the next year they dropped that and said you have to do choir. And then I did choir. And then I actually paid money to do the honors choir. But I gotta go to an amusement park. Gotta go to Busch Gardens for that. So that was good. There was a choir competition at Busch Gardens. Music at the park or something like that. We got an excellent rating, which was second best overall, I think. I don't know. It was pretty good. I used to be able to sing. I can't anymore. Because my voice changed. You got a turnaround award one time. What is a turnaround award? Actually, come to think of it, at the end of middle school, I did get an award, I think, for music, actually. Presumably because there was no one else to give the award to who was remotely interested in music that year. It was for music, right? I mean, I don't know why I'm asking you, as if you would know what it was for. But I think it was for music. Which is funny to think about, considering I haven't done anything music related in quite a while. Well, I made the B-middies, but that was years ago. I cannot do that for some reason. I mess up every time. Oh, you went from a not good student to a good student. That makes sense. You turned your life around. Good job, Cathador. Is that gold or my ghost? That's my ghost. And it was way ahead at some point. I need to slow down a lot there. Missed the turn. Nailed it. That didn't even improve my best time, but it looked cool. I went the wrong way. Everyone's always uncooperative in elementary school, to be fair. To some extent. Also, the concept of giving awards in elementary school is slightly weird. my elementary school didn't do any awards except for end of middle school, which was when school ended. Then you had to go to another school. I agree, Kodak, this track is very lame. You missed the last day of karate class to get it. That reminds me of when my friend skipped soccer awards day to play Sonic Flash games on the computer in like 4th grade. Where is it even going there? Under the guise of it being a film class. Actually, it was. We were doing filming. Except I think we had finished at that point. I can stop talking for a minute. I don't need to focus hard. I just need to focus at all. Oh, it's happened! Quick, enter the giveaway. Win a Steam game. I talked about that yesterday, how it had never happened. NDL. Congrats. You won a Steam game. Okay. So I will try to remember. If I don't, just PM me and I'll get you a Steam game. I don't know if I'm going to pick one at random or if I'll give you a choice. I'll have to figure that out. I have not worked out the details. Yeah, Buttspot will just randomly butt like 1 in 30 messages, 125. And if it butts one of those commands and does exclamation butt, it will start a giveaway. I added that feature probably a month and a half ago, I would say. And that is the first time it's ever happened. I feel like I've seen exclamation but more frequently. That tree is further in the road than it looks like it is. Okay, I'm actually going to focus now because I've been on this level for way too long. See, that was me focusing. Oops. The only after-school class I took was that film class that I was talking about. Whoops. I took it for I want to say 3 years, but I think it's more like 3. I guess it's 3 years. It wasn't a full year thing. It like lasted for like 3 months each year. And I remember the first 2 years we did it, we were filming on mini VHS tapes. It was old school. This was like 2004 or 5. And then by 2007 or so, when I did the last time, we were doing flip cams. And I thought those were the coolest things at the time. Oh, that was cool. 6 skips. Okay, I'm gonna focus now. Because I have the opportunity to do well. Okay, we're good. That was apparently incredibly slow. Please mess up. Oh, he goes that way again. He does it again. I keep forgetting every single time. This track sucks. This is by far the worst one I've seen so far. Any track that fools you into thinking you can go one way when you can't is bad. Also, I only have one nostril now because the other one stopped up. That's just not good. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Sorry, I've just been allergic to the air for the past 2 days and I'm allergic again. Sorry. Allergies are bad. Now you know. You were put on the tape square once for being disobedient. I had a few... Oh man. I had a few, if you got too many warnings in a day, you would lose 5 minutes of recess. And in upper elementary, the teacher had this system known as pre-warnings. And it's the dumbest thing. Isn't your son like 1 year old? I didn't know 1-year-olds could be addicted to Taylor Swift. But now I do. But yeah, there's this thing called pre-warnings, and the way it worked was that if a student was misbehaving in class, not doing their work, being disruptive, whatever, another student could give them a pre-warning. And if they got, I forget if it was 2 or 3 pre-warnings, it would become a warning. And when it became a warning, you would lose 5 minutes of recess. So there was this running joke in class, because even at the time we thought the concept of pre-warnings was kind of stupid, or at least the name. Like, isn't, like, the point of the pre-warning was to be a warning, because if you got too many you would lose recess. So shouldn't it just be called a warning? But no, it was called a pre-warning, the warning before the warning. And I just remember this story. One day in class, my friend was misbehaving, and I wanted to give him a pre-warning, so I told him, like, I'm giving you a pre-warning, and just the way I said it was so funny that we both cracked up laughing, and then the teacher heard us and gave us a warning because we were laughing so much about me giving him a pre-warning. And I think we both lost 5 minutes of recess that day. Okay, I'm going to focus now. What's going to explode first, my nose or me? That is the question. I also had a much more nasally voice back then, when I was a kid. which might have attributed to the humor of the situation by how I said it. No, I stopped focusing. I'm focusing again. See? That's me focusing. Focus. I don't like this track. But I do like the dumb stories I've been telling. Because they're dumb. You had the wall for punishment. We did in PE class. If you were misbehaving in PE, you would have to sit on the wall and not participate in whatever you were playing at the time. I think that only happened to me once. I refused to sit down, so I wasn't able to do that parachute thing. You know, that thing where you do the parachute up and down and then you go inside, and then sometimes you go in the parachute and then they spin you around and it's fun. I wasn't able to do that for like 5 minutes once, and that was incredibly upsetting for me at the time. We also had this giant globe. It's like probably a 8-foot, 10-foot tall sphere of the world. And once a year, okay, so it hanged in the lobby outside the gym, which is also where the random computer was that we played the Sonic Flash games on once. And once a year, the PE teacher would take the ball down, and it had a grip thing on it, so you could hold on to it, and he would basically roll us up to the top of the ball, so we'd be like 10 feet in the air. And that was always incredibly scary to me. Yeah, you probably would get the wall for doing that, I would think. You sat by the wall in gym all the time. But teamwork was fun when you were kids, because it didn't matter if the teamwork didn't actually work out, because nothing matters when you're a kid. Once it starts actually mattering, that's when teamwork begins to suck. Like, we did this thing. There's these carts that you can sit down on. And we would use jump ropes, and one person would run around the gym, and then they would grab onto the jump rope, and you would also hold on to the jump rope, the ends of the rope, and you'd be sitting on the cart, and you would be spinning all around the gym, and it was so fun. I always loved that. And then there was this game called Goo Goo Gaga, where you had a bunch of balls, like soccer ball sized balls, but they were foam balls. And you would all sit in the corners of the gym, or the sides of the gym, and you would roll the balls at other people, and you would try to hit them with the balls. And if you hit them, they had to go to timeout. And there were always, I think, 3 people in timeout. And once someone else got timed out, you could go back in the game. And if you caught the ball, well, then you weren't timed out. Did not have to get timed out. That was a fun game. How does he get so much grip on that corner? Whoops. I don't remember any sort of pool noodle type thing. I remember Human Skittles, which also used the same balls. I don't remember how he actually played it, though. And then there was, I forget what it was now. Oh yeah, there was the day where you got the random weird shaped balls that like aren't round. They're not spherical, they're like isododecahedrons or whatever, and you go bounce those around and you try to bounce them as many times as you can in a row. And they go bounce around in all sorts of wacky directions. I liked those. And does anyone remember like Jump Rope for a Heart? That was a program where you raised money by jumping rope, and we did that every year. Then you could buy a jump rope, I think. And you could get all sorts of cool packages if you donated a certain amount of money. But I never was able to donate a certain amount of money to get the cool packages. So I just got a lame jump rope each year that I never even really used. I wonder if that's still around. And like, there'd be one day a year where the whole school would get together in the gym and watch other people jump rope. Just like one class at a time would come up to the middle of the gym and jump rope for a couple minutes, and then the next one would come, and you do that until the whole school jumped rope. And then there was also International Soup Day. I always liked that day. That has nothing to do with gym. But one day you'd get to go to the house on the other side of the parking lot, and they would serve soup. I cannot get that corner right for the life of me. I got to slow down to a crawl there. Disable the PB Ghost, maybe. I just half the time I forget the corners are there, and then there's that one corner that if I cannot lose a second every time on that corner, I should be good. The issue is that I lose a second every time on that corner. But man, all this talk is making me wish I was like 10 years old again. The wheeled square things where you'd rush to go from the wall and back. I don't remember that. And I don't remember the foxtrot. I don't think we did anything like that. What if I disable this track? I might skip it and move on. I just want to get gold. We did dancing in middle school when we got a new gym teacher, because the one we had from 1st through 6th grade, I think, left once their youngest kid graduated middle school. They left to go somewhere else. And so we got a new gym teacher who did not like Goo Goo Gaga, and therefore we never got to play it once she became the gym teacher. But she did have us learn how to dance for some reason. I want to say it was slow dancing, actually, but she partnered us up, a guy and a girl, because we happened to have a same number of guys and girls in the class, which made it easy. And I got partnered with the girl who I think had a crush on me. Although there was an unwritten rule that you weren't allowed to date other classmates. I think one person dated a classmate once in middle school, and the teachers weren't particularly happy about that, because it was a close-knit environment. There was only like 22 people in the whole middle school, which was 7th and 8th grade combined, 11 per class. Okay, I'm gonna focus. God, fladoodle. Okay, I remembered that. Which way does the gold go? This way. Okay. Well, it's a PB. The music teacher had a spider plant in your room. That reminds me of this dream I had once in upper elementary. Which is 4th through 6th grade at my school. There was lower elementary, 1st through 3rd, and upper elementary, 4th through 6th. At least when I was there. Before I was there, it was actually just 4th and 5th, and then 6th grade was just 6th grade. It was not middle school, it was not upper elementary, it was 6th grade. But then they moved it into upper elementary because they realized that was kind of dumb. Alright, focus time. Every single time I say focus time, bad things happen immediately afterwards. That's a rad angle. I cannot do that section! But, okay, so I had a dream during upper elementary where there was this giant Venus flytrap in the alcove of our room. And it sneezed on me and absolutely covered me in, like, black goo. And that was the entire dream. And then the very next night, I had another dream involving a classmate and me waiting in a car in a parking lot, and the car started moving sideways on its own and started moving all around the parking lot. That classmate was weird because I would always see her in various stores in very unusual circumstances. Like, I think I saw her at a Borders bookstore multiple times, and I saw her at a Target, and it happened that it was not the Target I usually went to, and it was not the Target she usually went to either. In case you were wondering why I went to the Target that day, it was to buy a nunchuck for my Wii remote. I gotta focus. Don't lose. Yay! That only took way too long. At least I'm the best person in Virginia out of 2 people. Why are you bringing up all these personal stories? Probably because I am as well. Oh, I can't read the chat during this one. I was reading some old Extra Lives forum posts the other day, and there were some dreams I talked about that I had completely forgot about, and I've forgotten about them again. But they were pretty weird. And I think one of them involved Tim. See, this track's a whole lot easier. I'm 6 seconds ahead. First try. The roller coaster tracks usually are pretty easy, to be fair. I remember the first dream I ever had, which I guess you could say was a nightmare. It was in black and white, and it was me, my mom, and my aunt at the time, who drove a Dodge Stratus, I think. Dodge Intrepid. That's what it was. A red Dodge Intrepid. And then in my dream, we were sitting in some generic house, and then the Intrepid pulled up, and some creepy guy got out of the Intrepid, and we all kind of knew that we were going to die, because this guy was going to kill us. And that was the dream. I was the worst person in Virginia. I know, it's a shame. Well, hopefully I'm not the worst in the entire United States. Really? Got sniped by the tree. I used to have nightmares about the emergency alert system, and how it would always be really loud, and just it would randomly come on the TV and would be ear-splittingly loud. Like, there's this thing that happens sometimes when I have nightmares, where like it will be an incomprehensibly loud noise, usually accompanied with like a strong vibration for a few seconds, and then you wake up. And usually, like, the EAS is, like, really loud, and then there's a vibration, and then I wake up. And once it also happened with, like, the intro to a movie sequence, where it had started playing way too loudly. I distinctly remember I used to fly around, on a magic carpet once when that happened. Like, the EAS was coming on, and then I got in the magic carpet and fled the room before it could make the noise. And also, I had a series of dreams about a hidden part of the house that I wasn't allowed to go into, and that I snuck into it. Although it was basically just my grandfather's house attached to this house. Plenty of dreams where you're hanging on the sidebars of stairs that were way far down. I have a few dreams every now and then where I jump down an entire flight of stairs, and then when I land I wake up. Also, sometimes when I'm somewhat self-aware of the fact that I'm in a dream, I will try to run as fast as I can into a wall, and when I hit the wall I will wake up, usually. Oops. Now we can keep going. That was intentional. That was not intentional. One time I had a dream where I had to go to the bank to give birth to a piece of wood that had history notes written on it. That was a weird one. This is a cool track. Where am I going? I don't know. There, I think. That actually worked out quite well. I bet I got 100 SP. I'm wrong. Yeah, the giving birth one was weird. Like, we were driving up to the bank, and my mom was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I went into the bank. There was this operating room inside the bank, and then the piece of wood got pulled out of me. But, like, I was also giving birth to it, if you know what I mean. And then I was given the piece of wood, and then I went home, and I set it on the counter, and it had history notes on it. That happened years ago at this point. I've probably written down a more accurate account of that dream at some point in time. Might actually be on the Extra Lives forums. There's also one dream I had where I was looking at a reflection of myself in the kitchen mirror and I started grinning. And my grin got really wide and evil looking, and then that was the end of the dream. Was it a girl or a boy? It did not have a gender. It was just a piece of wood. Did I make it? I did. Nice. I did not increase my ranking at all. I am 11th out of 12, but that's alright. I had a dream not too long ago where my mom was 8 months pregnant, but she is not pregnant. And I'm pretty sure she's never going to be pregnant again. Triple bounce. I didn't even know you could do a triple bounce. Uh-oh. Well, I almost made it. You had a dream where you were against a shapeshifter and then it became an imaginary friend for a month. That's cool. Trying to think of other weird dreams I had. There's one where I met Tim in the waiting room of a library. No, Rock. Let's keep going. We can make it. No. Almost. I don't think the water physics are supposed to be realistic. If they are, they've done a terrible job at it. One time I had a dream that there was a canoe on the wall next to my bed. And like a bunch of pictures and stuff on the wall. I've never had a canoe on my wall, believe it or not. Maybe the idea is that you hit the water so hard it bounces you back. Maybe. Or maybe they just thought it would be cool. What's that gif? Oops. Yeah, I've got an idea. Is there a gif of TrackMania? No, there's not. How about gif of Track Space Mania? There is. It's wrestling. Is it the time in 1998 where The Undertaker threw that guy 16 feet through the announcer's table in Hell in a Cell? Okay, that time we just drive through the water. Got it. Which way should I be going? I'm surprised I didn't crash there. I'm not surprised I crashed there. I don't have a basement, so I haven't had any dreams like that. Except... well, actually, that's a lie. The dream I just mentioned, or a bit ago, about the second part of the house. I guess you could say that was part of the basement. Although I entered it through my parents' bedroom closet upstairs. So it'd be hard for that to be a basement. I've also had a dream once where there was a spiral staircase in my parents' bedroom that went to a different part of the house. Oh, I got slowed down. This is way too slow, I think. Yeah. Might not even get silver at this rate. I just want to see what the rest of the track is. Oh. That part's going to be annoying. Oh, there we go. Got the bounce that time. Now we're good to go. Just gotta not crash here, which is easier said than done, as demonstrated by me crashing multiple times. It's not a path. I haven't had too many video game dreams either. Which is kind of surprising in a way. I kind of want to look at the weird dreams thread again on the Extra Lives forums and just read all the dreams I posted like 5 years ago. Well, it's the furthest I've gotten, but I'm way too far behind. Oh, it's multi-lap. Oh, no. It's 3 laps of this? I might just say no to drugs and to that level. It's the last one in C, but it sucks. I want to do some online. Oh, there's only 6 people. When I checked earlier, there was 30. I guess everyone's gone to bed. Oh, this is different. More UI changes. Look at that ultra-realistic speedometer. Yes, of the, yeah, I think TM2 Stadium is probably the most populated of all the TrackMania games at this point. Hey, Bob, how are you doing? Lagoon just came out today, but I'm surprised that there are not more people playing this. Considering it just came out today. Only 8 people online is not a good sign. You need to study, but it's already 11. Unless you have an exam tomorrow, you don't need to study. That's my rule. And I haven't failed a class yet. Came mighty close once, though. Did not even get to finish. Let me pull up that dream thread I was talking about. Pull it up on my phone. You do have one tomorrow. Well, then you should probably study. Unless it's an exam you don't need to study much for, which can happen. Oh, you get points for doing things. That's cool. It's like Tony Hawk, but with cars. It's math. If you know your formulas, then you should be good to go. But math's a lot about practice. Yeah, global multiplayer. This server has 6 people. I think there are 2 other servers with 1 person each in them. There are no such thing as limits. I'm just glad that I'll never actually have to take a math class again. Unless I want to. I mean, I like math, but it was also the class I had to, or the type of class I had to study the most for. Because, you know, you've got to, whoops, at least in college, because you've got to know your formulas. And you've got to practice, especially in college, once you get to, like, Calc 2 and Calc 3. They get so complicated, there's no way to know them without just practicing them. I still don't know how I passed Calc 2. It was the most intense 3 hours of studying I've ever done in my life preparing for that Calc 2 exam. Because I needed I think I needed an 80 in the exam to pass the class. And I don't know what I got in the exam, but I did pass the class. So I must have done fairly well. I don't know if he cut me a bit of slack if I was like really close or what. My goal is just to finish this track, even if my time's not that great. Just have a time. Oh, I'm winning. Great. Yeah, my Algebra 2 teacher was not great. Was not very good at teaching. I think my favorite math teacher ever would either be my geometry teacher or my Calc 1 teacher. Can I finish in 10 seconds? Probably not. Well, actually, maybe. Yeah, I can finish. I am the winner. Geometry is pretty great. One time you laid on the floor in English class. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, it's the Buck Bumble theme. The best theme.
Good luck and have fun.
Oh, thank you. That was not creepy at all. Never had a math teacher before. Well, good luck in college. Hope it goes well for you. Everyone. Every single person hit the wall at the same time. I think there was a 30-minute period in my life where my dad wanted to homeschool me. But then my mother and me both quickly vetoed that idea because it was dumb. We tried online school once. I don't think I could have done homeschool. Well, I take that back. I probably could have, but I wouldn't have liked it. Where am I going? I don't know where the track goes. Probably should have not reset from the start, but whatever. Don't fall off. I fell off. Yeah, I could imagine online school being really rough. If it's like all your classes. If it's just one class, that would probably be alright, but I could not do all my classes online. No way. You're doing classic homeschooling, which is mostly nothing. Well, I'm sure you're learning some things. Maybe. Do you know what 2 plus 7 is? you know what 2 plus 7 is, you're good to go. Believe me, I'm a math minor. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know the specifics of how to, like, get a GED if you're homeschooled. Or, like, can anyone just get a GED? I don't know how GEDs work. That's math for minors, but I'm not a minor. I just have a minor in math. I did not win. Did not finish. I don't think anyone finished. It's a draw, because no one finished. You just have to do all the experiments and do all the tests.
Good luck and have fun.
That's fair. I guess you have to get a certain grade on the test, presumably. Just trying to read the chat. That did not go well. Whoops. Almost torpedoed the ship. See, the way I studied was to just memorize everything, because by the time I had actually started studying, there was not enough time left before the start of the test for me to actually understand things. Which is why I tend to forget everything I learn. So I'm looking forward to having 2 to 3 CS courses next semester after not really doing much of anything CS related for the past 9 months. I mean, they updated clip art about a couple times, but I don't know if that counts. Maybe I'll work on my games this summer. I have off next week, so that would be a good time to do it. I don't know if I should just finish Taco Tom 2 and put that on sale for like $1 or something, or if I should do something else that I'm a bit more excited for. I might wait until Steam announces their price for their new Put Your Game on Steam program. Where do you go? Just start Taco Tom 3. Oh, I see the checkpoint. Oh, I mean, that's not actually the worst idea in the world. I mean, you could actually argue that Taco Tom is the 5th game in the Taco Tom series. So, I mean, I could go all the way to Taco Tom 7 if I wanted to. You got an award for science today. Oh, congrats. It was awards day at my high school. Whoops. Yesterday. But I did not see the awards because I was busy doing technical stuff, like watching videos about the Cisco Identity Services engine, which are kind of amusing. Oh yeah, I was talking about the new Steam program. I'm pretty sure they're going to announce that price point in like a day or two. Because they've been doing like 3-part blog posts. And they said the 3rd part was going to be announcing that price and how they got it. And the first post was on the 8th, the second was on the 16th. Tomorrow is the 24th. So I think any time now they'll reveal that. I'm curious to see what it is that might actually influence my decision on what I do in terms of finish Taco Tom or work on something else. Because if it's more expensive, that might dissuade me from making just like a simple thing that like I would charge $1 for or whatever. And I might actually work on something bigger that I might actually charge like $5 or $10 for. I wouldn't finish that probably over the summer, but oh, I'm winning, by the way. First out of 2. Yeah, I didn't have to study that much either for tests. Unless they were physics tests. I had to study for those. But otherwise, not much. I don't really even have to study that much for college exams. Like, I don't think I've ever studied more than like 3 hours for one. Which was that Calc 2 one. Oops. I've landed on the underside of the track. You failed your classes but had hundreds on your exams. Yeah, that's the issue with not doing your homework. Gotta do your homework. I mean, I still have trouble with procrastinating and actually doing homework, especially when it's like busy work that you really don't want to do and it's going to take a while. You had 9 programs due. You didn't do any of them and you got an 89%. I'm assuming there was more to that class than just the programs. How do I see how many people are playing? There are 3 people playing, top left. Midterm and final, Yeah, I have homework in CS classes. I think I've gone over 2's complement in at least 3 separate classes. But safe to say, I'm aware of what 2's complement is. Yeah, I work part-time and commute. I don't know if my schedule
Good luck and have fun.
for the upcoming semester will allow me to work part-time or not, if I'll be able to get in any time. And also, I probably actually won't be commuting next year. So just ignore what I said about working part-time and commuting. Also, hooray for copyrighted music that you can just throw in your server. Which is pretty great. Oh man, we've got 4 people now. Worked at a pizza place, that's cool. pretty sure you know what I do by now. But yeah, last semester my schedule was just Fridays all day. By all day I mean 8 to 3. And some semesters it was 2 half days. Well, actually, first semester I did the job. It was Wednesdays and Fridays, half days, noon to 3. Second semester, it was Tuesdays and Thursdays all day, except not quite. I left at 2:30 because I had a class at 3. And this upcoming semester, I don't know if I'm going to be available at all. And also because one of the other interns, or I guess the only other, well, it's not an intern, it's a independent contractor. We're temporary technical assistants, I think, or something like that. But one of the 2 people doing it is going to be full-time next year, which means it might be less necessary for me to come in during the actual school year. So I don't know how that's going to work out. We got stuck inside a bus for an hour because it got lost. Well, that sounds like fun. I'm glad you weren't on the outside of the bus. That would have not been good. This is actually pretty good. Yeah, that was a pretty good run. New record. That was the 4th best time, which is pretty good. Your brother fell asleep on the bus once. Oops. I have never ridden in a school bus before. Like, the big yellow school bus. I have never ridden in one. Because I went to private school my whole schooling career. And so I had to have my parents take me. I don't think I ever made butter during a field trip. I remember picking flowers during one, I think. And there was another one where we went to a pond and dropped fish off. Man, field trips are fun. You get to go to cool places like DC. Went to DC at least 3 times. Excuse me. I'm not missing much. Not missing much. I'm not surprised. Yeah, my middle school had little mini buses that you could ride in, and I rode on those sometimes. I remember for one part of the year we would go to a retirement home every Friday, and we rode in the buses to go there, the little mini buses. I really liked that. I've rode in a full-size bus that's not a school bus, though, many times. Mostly for field trips and events and stuff. Like, one of the times I rode on a bus was when I got to see Anderson Cooper. and he asked me if I was bored, and I said no. And that's the story of how I met Anderson Cooper.
UDD record.
Yep, that's literally what he asked me. Well, it would probably make more sense if I explained the context. Maybe. Slightly more sense, at least. There's this thing called the Richmond Forum, which is like this event where all these really famous people will go to and will give a presentation, and afterwards you can get your photo taken with the person. And one time Anderson Cooper was doing it, and I went to go see him, and after the presentation I had my photo taken with him, and that's when he asked me if I was bored. I went to 2 other events like that. One to see Steven Spielberg, and the other to see George Bush, which is pretty cool. Although I didn't actually get to get my photo with George Bush. He did not do photos. But it was not all the people at once. It was just Anderson Cooper. Like, it was 3 separate events that happened on 3 separate years. I did get my picture with Steven Spielberg, though. He gave a talk about his movie Lincoln, which I had not seen at the time, and I still have not seen. Maybe I should watch that eventually. My history teacher at the time was chosen to play an extra in that movie, but he declined because he would have to miss school. One time, what is going on? One time your class did a school weather report and just stood by the door out of frame. That's one way to go about it. You just show up and go home. Oh, that's GPS. Okay, we gotta go left. You had to spend part of the pep rally being quiet. That sounds terrible. Where am I going? What is this track? Okay, I think I found the road. Hold on. I can recover. The freshmen are so aggressive that allowing them to talk causes them to fight. That sounds like an issue that should be remedied with punishments. Just going where the arrows point me. Cobra loop. I don't know what that means. Oh, I don't have enough speed. I'm dead. Over half of them are failing. Wow. That sounds like a not great school, I'm gonna be honest. Only the freshmen? All the other grades are fine. What's gone so wrong with the freshmen? That one class, did they start a cult or something? Did they say we're gonna do incredibly badly? Is there a new teacher that teaches only freshmen that's giving them really bad grades? Yay, we kind of made it. Wait, where? Where's the finish? There's like 400 teachers. Oh, so it's a big school, I see. It would have to be some sort of collusion between a whole lot of teachers then. This track is a mess. It's like Jeb Bush. I don't like this track. Children are just getting more unreasonable. I mean, it's possible. I don't know if there would be that dramatic of a difference in 1 year. I don't know why pepper makes people sneeze. Might be middle children. Could be. Although you wouldn't expect that many more middle children in 1 year compared to any other, I wouldn't think. Maybe it's just a group of people who are being not good, and it's rubbing off on the rest of the grade. Didn't make you sneeze, you thought it smelled good. Well, maybe things that smell good make you sneeze. I sneeze due to everything, so I don't know what that means. Ow. I don't think it has anything to do with brightness, because usually when I sneeze it's inside, although usually I am inside, so hard to say. New duty record. I mean, I'm 3 thousandths behind. I'm actually in last place. How has this happened? Uh-oh, I'm too wobbly. Lost all my speed. I'm allergic to air, so I just sneeze all the time. Except I don't sneeze as often when I talk frequently, which is why I don't sneeze quite as often when I stream. But really it's just allergies, which I should probably do something about, but Eh. I don't like doing things. Finish! Ah, there we go. Sniped second. That was a beautiful track. Alright, one more track and then I think I'm done. Need to go to bed at some point. Let's go! This track can apparently be done in like 25 seconds. But it's taken some people 50. So I don't know what that means in terms of difficulty, considering I'm almost finished with it already. I think some people are just really bad. I don't know what I'm going to do once I graduate college next year. Oh yeah, I do have a list of games, actually. It's a long list. So I'll send that to you after the stream. Whoops. But yeah, I don't know what to do after college next year. Because I'm probably going to live on campus for some reason. People convinced me to do that it would be a nice change of pace. And after that, I don't know. Probably have working full-time at my high school as an option. I don't know if I want to try getting somewhere with my game dev company, if I can actually turn Tinson Games into a thing, by actually working full-time on that, or just doing something else entirely. If I actually get a job in my field, or not. I actually don't know if I want a job in the CS field, just because I feel like I don't know anything about it. But maybe everyone feels that way and I actually do know some things about it. Just haven't made very many big projects of things and stuff. It's a lot of stuff that I have no idea how to do. But I'll figure that out in due time, I suppose. That doesn't count because I didn't get all the checkpoints. Nobody knows about anything. That's what I kind of figured. Yeah, I know the CS field is pretty big and high demand, so I shouldn't have that much issue finding a job if I didn't work at my high school.
Good luck and have fun.
And if I didn't work on my own. Loki trying to do another bot giveaway. What if you spam ClipArtBot commands? 1 in every 25 should do a giveaway. So, I mean, feel free to just completely spam it if you want. Actually, it would probably be around 1 in 50 because there's 50% chance that it will buttify the word after the command. That's a hotel. You can tell by the way that it says hotel. That's not how you spell hotel. It didn't crash into any walls that time. That's good. ClipArtBot understands you. It understands everyone, and yet no one at the same time. I really need to get the ball rolling on the independent study sign up for next year. Or next semester. For the Unity development class. Been meaning to do that for weeks. I've had a month to do it. Still have not gotten around to it. That's like the #1 thing I should do tomorrow when I get home. And it's been that way for the past many weeks, but I actually have to do that. I don't know if there's a deadline. I don't even know. I might have already passed the deadline, which would not be good. So let's hope I haven't done that. Alright, well, I think I'm done streaming for tonight. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll stream this game again, but I liked streaming it. Probably sometime soon, next stream, whenever that is, will probably be either Xbox Homebrew or Puyo Tetris Speedrun. So look forward to that, or don't. But yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you all have a good night, and I will see you later.
Good luck.
Bye-bye. And good luck, and have fun.